Hello, I'm Todd Spatafor, and this is another spectacular thing. In the last video, we set up centralized logging on our Kubernetes cluster with Loki and Promtail. But there's a problem with that. As you can see, Promtail is deprecated. Grafana has officially deprecated Promtail. It's not getting any new features. Eventually it won't get security patches. Your stack works today, but it's on borrowed time. Today we migrate to Alloy. This is a real world experience because many companies are on Promtail and will probably need to upgrade to Alloy. So stay tuned and watch as we upgrade to Alloy. Let's start with what we already have. This is the Promtail configuration from episode 8. It's pretty simple. We tell Promtail where Loki is, and we add a toleration so that it runs on the control plane node. Promtail figures out the rest. It knows it's a log shipper, it knows how to find pod logs, and it ships them. That's its whole job. And that simplicity is actually Promtail's biggest limitation. It does one thing, logs, and that's it. Now look at the Alloy config for doing the exact same thing. It's more verbose, I won't lie about that. But look at what you're actually reading. This is a pipeline, 4 steps written out explicitly. First step is discover. Find all the Kubernetes pods running on this node. Second step, relabel. Take the Kubernetes metadata and map it to Loki labels. Namespace, pod name, container name. This is how your logql queries work. These are the labels you're filtering on. Third step, collect. Actually tail the log files for those pods and pass them downstream. Fourth step is write. Ship everything to Loki. And the magic is the forward to syntax. You see the data flowing through the pipeline just by reading the config. Discovery feeds into relabeling, relabeling feeds into log source, the log source feeds into the writer. Promtail hides all of this. It makes sensible assumptions so the config stays short. Alloy exposes it, which feels like more work at first, but it means you know exactly what's happening. More importantly, this same agent can add Prometheus.scrape component tomorrow to collect metrics, or an OpenTelemetry receiver to ingest traces, without touching any of the log pipelines we just built. One agent, all 3 observability pillars. Promtail can never do that. It's log only by design. That's why Grafana deprecated it. Not because it's broken, it's not, but it's a dead end. Alloy is where everything is going. Alright, let's swap them out. Let's go ahead and get rid of Promtail. First, let's verify what we're removing. With the kubectl get daemon set in the monitoring namespace, and then we look for Promtail. Once we see it, let's go ahead and uninstall it. Helm uninstall Promtail-n monitoring is what we want to type. Confirm pods are gone. Kubectl get pods-n monitoring, and you'll see that Promtail is missing. Alright, Promtail is gone. The cluster is quiet. Let's get Alloy in. First thing, update the Helm repos. Alloy is in the same Grafana chart repo we've been using since episode 8, so no new repo to add. Helm repo update. Good, let's confirm the chart is there. Helm search repo Grafana/Alloy. And there it is. Now the values file. This is where we embed our pipeline config. Let me walk through the important parts. First, controller type daemon set. Same reason we ran Promtail as a daemon set. Pod logs live on the node that's running the pod. To collect logs from every pod, we need a collector on every node. 1 pod per node, automatically. If we add a 7th node to the cluster tomorrow, Kubernetes starts an Alloy pod on it without us doing anything. Second, tolerations. By default, Kubernetes won't schedule regular pods on the control plane node. It's reserved for cluster management. But we want control plane logs too. This toleration is the exception that says yes, we run here as well. And then the config itself, embedded directly in the values file under configmap.content. This gets mounted as an Alloy file inside each pod. This is exactly the pipeline we looked at in part 1. Let's install it. Helm is going to do its thing, creating the daemon set, the service account, the RBAC rules, everything Alloy needs to talk to the Kubernetes API and read pod logs. And there they are, 1 pod per node, 6 nodes, 6 Alloy pods. 1 control plane, 5 workers, every node covered. If you see fewer than 6, give it another few seconds. Kubernetes is still scheduling them. That's it for the install. Took about 30 seconds. 1 command, 1 values file, done. Now let's make sure everything is working. Open up Grafana and go to Explore. Make sure you've got Loki selected as the data source. Let's run the same query we used in episode 8. Namespace equals monitoring. And there it is, logs flowing in from the monitoring namespace. Loki, Alloy, itself, Grafana, fresh timestamps right now. This is the proof Alloy picked up where Promtail left off. The labels are the same, the data is the same, the queries are the same. Nothing about how you work with logs in Grafana changed at all. Let's try one more, searching inside the log content. Same syntax, same results you'd expect. Alloy is shipping logs to Loki in exactly the same format Promtail did. One more thing before we wrap up. Port forward to the Alloy UI on any of the running pods, then open localhost 12345. This is Alloy's built-in web interface. Every component we defined in our config file is here, rendered as a live node graph. This is what makes debugging so much easier than with Promtail. With Promtail, if something stopped working, you'd be grepping through logs trying to figure out where the pipeline things fell apart. With Alloy, you open up this page and you can see immediately which component is healthy and which one isn't. Promtail had nothing like this. It was a black box. You shipped logs and hoped for the best. Alloy gives you visibility into the pipeline itself. That's it. That's the whole migration. Promtail out, Alloy in. Logs still flowing, and now you've got a tool that's actively maintained and you can grow it and can grow with your stack. So there you have it. It's pretty easy, isn't it? You just uninstall Promtail, set up a values file for Alloy, and then install Alloy, and everything is back up and running. You have the same queries that you used in Promtail work in Alloy, and that's just because we're still in Grafana. Grafana's the underlayer of Grafana was just replaced, and everything works just as it did before. So what'd you think? Was this something easy enough for anyone to do? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, give us a like and subscribe while you're down there. Ring the bell so you're notified of our next video. And speaking of our next video, we're going to take a look at Longhorn for distributed storage in the next video in this series. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day and thank you for watching. Bye.